Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this English Listening Practice podcast. I'm really happy you're here today. This channel is created to help you practice and improve your English in a natural and relaxed way. You don't need to understand every single word. Just listen, follow the ideas, and let your ears get used to the rhythm of English. You can listen while resting, walking, or doing something simple. The most important thing is consistency. Before we start, let me tell you what today's episode is about and how it will be structured. In this episode, we are going to talk about learning from mistakes. First, we will discuss why mistakes are a natural and necessary part of learning, especially when learning a new language. Then, we will talk about why many people are afraid of making mistakes and how this fear can slow down progress. After that, we will focus on mistakes in learning English and why they are actually helpful. We will also look at practical ways to change your attitude toward mistakes and use them as a tool for improvement. Finally, we will talk about how learning from mistakes can help not only with English, but also with life in general. At the end of the episode, I will summarize the main ideas and say goodbye. Now, let's begin. Mistakes are a normal part of being human. From the moment we are born, we learn by trying, failing, and trying again. Babies fall many times before they learn to walk. Children say words incorrectly before they learn to speak properly. This process feels natural when we are young. But as we grow older, something changes. Many adults start to see mistakes as something negative, something to be ashamed of. This way of thinking can be very harmful, especially when learning new skills. Learning a language is impossible without mistakes. If you never make mistakes, it usually means that you are not challenging yourself. You are staying in your comfort zone, using only words and structures you already know. While this may feel safe, it also means that your progress will be very slow. Mistakes show that you are trying something new. They show that your brain is working, testing ideas, and building connections. One of the main reasons people are afraid of mistakes is fear of judgment. Many learners worry about how they sound. They think other people will laugh at them or think they are not smart. This fear can become so strong that people stop speaking at all. They prefer to stay silent rather than say something wrong. Unfortunately, silence does not help you learn a language. Language is about communication, not perfection. Another reason mistakes feel scary is school experience. In many education systems, mistakes are punished. A wrong answer means a lower grade, red marks on paper, or negative comments. Over time, students start to connect mistakes with failure. This mindset often follows people into adulthood. When learning English later in life, they still hear an inner voice saying, "Don't make a mistake," or "You must be perfect." But in reality, mistakes are one of the best teachers. When you make a mistake and notice it, your brain becomes more active. You start to think about why the mistake happened and how to correct it. This process helps you remember the correct form much better than if you had never made the mistake at all. A corrected mistake often stays in memory longer than a correct answer given without effort. Now, let's talk specifically about mistakes in learning English. Many learners worry about grammar mistakes. They want to use the correct tense, prepositions, or word order all the time. Grammar is important, but communication is more important. If someone understands your idea, then your English is already working. Native speakers make grammar mistakes too, especially when speaking fast or casually. Pronunciation mistakes are another common fear. People worry that others will not understand them or will judge their accent. It is important to remember that having an accent is normal. Accent means you learned another language, and that is something positive. Clear pronunciation matters more than perfect pronunciation. Over time, with listening and practice, your pronunciation will naturally improve. Vocabulary mistakes are also very common. Sometimes you choose the wrong word, or a word that sounds similar but has a different meaning. This can feel embarrassing, but it is also very useful. When you use a word incorrectly and get corrected, your brain creates a stronger connection. Next time, you are more likely to remember the correct usage. So how can you change your attitude toward mistakes? The first step is awareness. Notice how you react when you make a mistake. Do you feel angry, embarrassed, or disappointed? Try to pause and remind yourself that this mistake is part of the learning process. Instead of saying, "I'm bad at English," try saying, "I'm learning, and this mistake is helping me improve." The second step is to create a safe learning environment. If possible, practice English with people who support you and understand that you are learning. This could be a teacher, a language partner, or even yourself while speaking out loud. When you listen to podcasts or videos, don't worry if you don't understand everything. Missing information is normal. Another useful strategy is to keep a mistake notebook. When you notice a repeated mistake, write it down. Write the incorrect version and the correct one. Review these notes from time to time. This turns mistakes into clear learning points instead of emotional experiences. It is also important to practice speaking regularly. Speaking helps you discover your weak points. You may realize that you often confuse tenses, forget articles, or struggle to find words. This information is valuable. It shows you exactly what you need to work on. Avoiding speaking only hides these problems, but it does not solve them. Listening practice also helps reduce mistakes. The more you listen to natural English, the more patterns your brain absorbs. Over time, you start to feel what sounds right and what sounds wrong. This intuition develops slowly, but it is very powerful. That is why regular listening, like this podcast, is so important. Learning from mistakes is not only useful for language learning, it is a life skill. People who are not afraid of mistakes are usually more confident and more flexible. They try new things, take risks, and learn faster. They understand that failure is not the end, but feedback. Every mistake contains information that can help you move forward. In many successful people's stories, mistakes play a big role. Entrepreneurs fail before they succeed. Athletes lose before they win. Writers write bad texts before they write good ones. The difference is not talent, but attitude. They see mistakes as part of the journey, not as a sign to stop. Now let's summarize today's episode. We talked about why mistakes are a natural and necessary part of learning. We discussed why people are afraid of making mistakes and how this fear can slow down progress. We focused on mistakes in learning English, including grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. We also talked about practical ways to change your attitude toward mistakes and use them as a learning tool. Finally, we connected this idea to life in general and personal growth. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. I hope it helped you not only practice your English, but also feel more confident about making mistakes. Remember, every mistake means you are learning. Keep listening, keep practicing, and be kind to yourself. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and goodbye.